Hi, Blastpop here. Today I'm taking a look at a game I have in progress of Wing Leader, the game Victories, which is from 1940 to 1942. These are various air battles conducted with a side view as opposed to the traditional down view of most air games in the marketplace. The scenario I'm playing today is called Penny Packets, and currently I am on start of turn 4. Now, this is the Battle of Britain. You got Hawker Hurricanes versus Spitfires uh, attempting to intercept and shoot down German bombers, which are Henkel 111 H1s, and they're being escorted by BF 109E Emils 4. And also, there's a sweep of them attempting to shoot down or clear the air of fighters that are attempting to intercept the bombers. Now, the situation is that the British are attempting to not only intercept, but also grab enough forces into a cohesive force to take down the bombers, but they're starting out in different locations. Matter of fact, one of the Spitfire units, there's 4 units in the game for the British, and this is the scenario in question. It doesn't come in until turn 5. That being the case, already the British are off to a slow start. Now, one squadron starts way over here and starts much lower, and same with the Spitfire. The first unit to try to intercept the Germans is this Hurricane. But coming from a lower elevation, altitude, and that the German was at a higher altitude, dove down, the British got mauled. They lost 2 fighters, plus 1 straggler, which is a potential for a future loss if combat results dictate. And the Germans took no losses. Well, in addition to the altitude being in the Germans' favor, the Germans have a expert or experte, and the British squadron is nothing special, while the actual squadron itself that the Germans with the 109s have is veteran as well. So with the course of various modifiers and the altitudes and the expertise of the Germans, this unit really got hurt, and in the process was broken as a formation and is going to be heading home. Now, with the one advantage, though, with the reinforcement is that it enters at altitude 9 or lower, which is the same altitude as this dogfight's going on. So there's a good chance that the British Spitfires coming in won't be so disadvantaged as the Hurricanes were. So it might have been a better idea to wait for the Hurricanes to meet up with the Spitfires coming on, and this Spitfire to fight the sweepers or the sweeping fighters. But in the meantime, these are advancing 2 squares per turn, so it's going to be at least a few more turns before the new fighters come in as reinforcements are going to be able to catch up with the Henkel 111s, which means by the time they reach them, the Henkels are going to be down here, and they have to get off the board. So there isn't much opportunity to shoot down the bombers, not to mention the fact that these 109s are escorts, which can jump in and help defend the bombers as well. So it's a very difficult situation for the Brits. And, and it's a little harder for the British to spot the bombers with this unit because of the broken cloud cover that exists. a really interesting scenario. It plays very fast. Once you know what you're doing, essentially what you do is you do your spotting phase, which is the tally phase. You go from there and you move, and then you do combat, and you repeat. And there aren't a lot of pieces on the board, but the real availability is the tallying, who is able to spot each other first and get into a situation of advantage. So even though a scenario doesn't have a lot of pieces, there's enough variability within the structure of the game to allow a decent amount of replayability. So this is actually a pretty decent scenario. It's not exactly the most basic of scenarios, but it's not like some of the bigger scenarios where there's, maybe 12.5 air units in the game. So it's quite manageable. It's very logically done. And now I'm going to go back to this game and see what ends up happening. Please comment, like, and subscribe. This has been Blastpop. Bye.